Okay, well,
Hello. Are the good mood and the ability to concentrate back in gear?
Yep, I'm doing much better. I know that this obsession with bread and jam doesn't exactly speak well for a reputable scientist. It's just one of my quirks. I simply need it now and then.
you sound
Yeah,
like an
it's
abusive
okay.
asshole.
We all have our weaknesses. Also, when some have a huge screw loose.
You tell him, Nina. Let's ask about the work wagon.
What exactly do you do here?
We are studying the regenerative capabilities of certain plants.
Sounds very interesting. How does that work?
The study?
Yes.
We'll both be old and gray by the time I've explained it. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't think you are stupid. But you can't explain it in 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. You're probably right. Would it disturb you very much if I watched you working? I find all of that absolutely fascinating. I also promise not to ask too many stupid questions and not to interrupt.
All right, but don't touch anything. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Alexei will be happy to explain it to you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Are you the only scientists on board this train?
No, not as far as I know. Apparently there are a few on board, but the compartments are separated from one another, and the doors are being guarded by soldiers. That's too bad. It would have been interesting to discuss research results among yourselves. Well, hopefully we'll have enough time for that later.
You have no idea which of your other colleagues are on the train?
No. The only person who has a complete list of the scientists and scientific researchers is Professor Sidorkin.
I'll have to get my hands on this list. Then I'll know for sure if Dad is on the train or not, and exactly where I can find him.
Would have been helpful to work out whether your dad was on the train. He is such an Egon. Before you got on the train, but whatever.
Who is the Sidorkin?
Professor Sidorkin? He is my direct superior and the scientific director of the biologists. You don't know him? He's an absolute genius in his field. There's hardly anyone who knows more than he does in the field of molecular biology.
Oh, that must have passed me by. Do you think I could talk with him for a moment?
He's right next door. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him right now. He's under a lot of stress and is extremely irritable. And when I say extremely irritable, I mean even more irritable than me when I have to go 2 weeks without bread and jam.
Wow, that bad. Then I'll be careful. Why is he so irritable?
There are a few problems, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I have to go back to work now. You'll excuse me.
Okay.
I'm not feeling so well. I must have swallowed the jam and bread a little too quickly. Alexei, please continue working here and tell Sidorkin as soon as you have the right result. I've got to go somewhere and fast. Very fast.
Yep. We poisoned that man. Well, let's talk to Alexei.
Phew, that was close. I have only just saved humanity from the terrible Dr. Jackal.
Oh, thank you very much. Working with him is now so much more relaxed. I owe you one. So if you have any questions, I unfortunately can't tell you everything. I hope you understand that.
Of course.
Please hold together,
I'm
Gabe.
happy
Please
that I
hold
can
together.
see your work at all. A soldier who interests herself for science. That's not a daily occurrence, is it?
No, and certainly not someone as pretty as you.
Oh, thank you.
What are you doing?
What you're doing here looks incredibly complicated.
Really? It's actually quite simple. These plant samples were exposed to radiation that is very similar to the radiation in the Tunguska region. At first the doses were kept rather low, and were then continually increased. I exposed the samples in that device over there to a flame with a constant temperature, and see what remains from the plant.
You burn plants?
Yes, you could say that. We are trying to determine which dosage of radiation no longer leads to the complete deterioration of the cell structure.
Wow, I even understood that.
Well, I deliberately left out 2/3 of the explanations.
Wonderful. Once in my life, I'm proud of my scientific abilities, and you blow the whole illusion apart.
I'm sorry.
What about Tunguska?
What exactly will you be doing at our destination?
You mean in the research station?
Yes, exactly. There. Scientific assistants also seem to be easy to question on an international level. So, it has to do with the research station. Maybe I can squeeze an odd secret or two out of him. What exactly is your task at the station?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Otherwise, the station wouldn't be a secret.
So, it's secret, is it? Very good. Come on, boy, tell me more. Yes, I understand. But perhaps you can tell me something which isn't quite so secret. I have unfortunately little idea about biology and chemistry, but it certainly is fascinating, isn't it?
I can only talk about what Dr. Lesniak and I are supposed to be doing there.
Sure.
A long time ago, they discovered that the plants in the region exhibit abnormal plant growth. It isn't a secret. It was all over the newspapers.
Yes, of course.
And now we are
Remember
trying to influence
newspapers?
this growth in a controlled manner.
Fascinating. And what is the goal?
Unfortunately, I can't say. But imagine if we could arbitrarily manipulate the growth of plants. That would solve the problem of world hunger in one fell swoop.
Wow, that really does sound like a huge goal.
Indeed.
Well, that's great, and we know what they're doing now.
I'll be off then.
Okay, see you later.
But I see an exposed power outlet behind you, so I'm just going to ruin your day.
A little liquid should be enough. It would look a little suspect if everything here were underwater.
Damn, why do the fuses have to choose to blow now? I have to go replace the fuses. Could you watch to make sure no one touches anything?
I'm
Sure.
trustworthy.
No problem.
Thanks.
No
I'll
problem.
take very special care that nobody touches a thing in here, apart from my good self.
Oh, Nina. Right. Yoink.
I'll take the sample out of the glass. I have no idea what sort of plant this is from.
Okay. There should be, if I remember. Again, I've played this game several times. And by several times, I mean...
I don't know anything about those. I'd better keep my fingers to myself.
Is it this one?
I don't know anything about those. I'd better keep my fingers to myself.
Or is it this one?
I have no idea what sort of plant this is from.
Let's just, Where's the incinerator? I'm looking for things to interact.
The assistant's table. I don't know anything about those. I'd better keep my fingers to myself. That reminds me of my chemistry lessons. Not a pleasant memory. I have no idea what sort of plant this is from.
We're looking for another plant sample. And what we're doing is we're combining them. That's Nina. That's the incinerator, that's the power outlet. Ah. I had to double click on that one. Okay.
I'll take the sample out of the glass.
There we go, that's what I was trying to do.
What am I going to do with it? I'll just put one inside the other. I can't think of anything else spontaneously.
And now we've got a new plant sample. And we'll put it back. This poor man. This poor
So
man.
hopefully the fuse doesn't blow on me again right away. And in the meantime, I really doubt if I will ever get any surprising results here. What? That can't be! Really? The sample
Impossible.
didn't burn up completely? You can see that with the naked eye. I don't even need to do an analysis. I have to tell Dr. Lesniak. And maybe even Professor Sidorkin. This could actually be the big breakthrough. And I had almost stopped believing it would ever happen.
And you are absolutely sure that all the test conditions were controlled and complied with?
I always took random samples and rechecked everything. And I would put my hand into the fire to confirm Alexei's competence. I've worked with him for many years now.
So you performed the experiments. Did you notice anything different?
What kind of difference?
We have to check everything exactly. If the results are correct, it's a sensation.
Nina
but if we
is
register
such
it as
a
a
bitch.
sensation, and we've made a mistake, then the most we'll get afterward is a job in a natural history museum. So go through everything again slowly. We should look at the analysis together.
I only hope that we didn't miss anything. If the result is really correct, we'll go down in history.
The gentlemen are certainly very enthusiastic about their discovery. I should use this chance to have a look around Sidorkin's office.
Snoopy, Snoop,
There
Snoop.
won't be much time until this Sidorkin comes back. I'll have a look around his desk first. Maybe I'll find the passenger list at least.
Oh, well, let's look at
The
this.
documents are entitled Security Risks and Acute Threats to the Tunguska Project. I'll have a look at that, please. If I understand this correctly, in the last few years, several attacks have been carried out on official and secret research facilities. Documents were partly destroyed, but the culprits also do not seem to shy away from bomb attacks and arson either. Eyewitnesses report seeing men in black robes. It has not been possible for the authorities to capture any of the perpetrators. Then the Secret Service FSB was entrusted with this matter, but has not been able to produce any solid results in their investigations. The assumption that this is the work of political terrorists could not be confirmed. That the attacks are being carried out by a religiously motivated sect is also being considered. I wonder if they are the same men in black robes that Eddie apparently saw and was babbling about. If all that's true, then Daddy has got bigger problems than I feared.
Well. Sometimes just documents. There are also mentions of explosives and arson. Yeah, it's bad. You're up to your knees in some bad shit, Nina.
It's huge. That's not normal.
It's a big
That
ant.
must be genetically engineered. Some kind of scientific report about molecular biology. It's nearly all formulae, and those few words are just as incomprehensible. Tunguska Project. Error analysis is written on these files. 2000 to 2003 at the top, and at the bottom it begins with 2004. There's not very much I can do with these in the time I have. The drawer is secured with a very simple, but unfortunately, a very effective lock.
Okay.
The piece of paper reads, "Place all documents in the safe each time you leave the room. Signed, W.I.L." If this safe has the employee list in it, then I should have a better look round here. Maybe I can find out exactly what is going on in Tunguska, and what Daddy's got to do with it.
I thought so. The little toad is a snoop. I noticed you in Moscow at the train station, and not in a good way. Toads remain toads, even when they are wearing clothes. But don't worry. We're going to take care of you now.
That was a bit rapey. Toads remain toads.
What is Kansky doing here in the middle of the night? Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a really bad feeling about him. I should definitely make sure he doesn't catch me. He probably hasn't forgotten the big bump on the back of his head yet. Finally, an answer to my question. I'm curious to see what my Irish colleague has found out.
Hi, Max. It took a little while, but the information you wanted wasn't so easy to get. It was a good thing you sent me the original letter. But I'll tell you more later. For starters, let's talk about the Irish company and the letterhead. This company used to belong to a man named Ken Morangi, and had something to do with plant fertilizer. The company was suddenly closed down, even though business was going pretty good. I unfortunately couldn't find out anything more about it either. Since then, Morangi lives like a hermit on a small island on the coast of Ireland. I've attached a map along with the mail. But now to an even more interesting story. I took a closer look at the letter you sent me. It isn't as empty as it looks at first glance. It apparently uses some kind of invisible ink. Not very imaginative, but it's apparently sufficient enough for people like you. Here are the contents
Winky
of the letter.
face.
I hope you can understand it. Hello, Vladimir. Receive the documents. Copy is underway. We still have to settle the question of the handover. Ken, P.S. The whiskey is still waiting.
Wow, that sure does sound mysterious. Maybe this Morangi knows something that could help us. I'd better tell Nina. I wonder what she's doing right now. Hopefully she's doing okay. I'm really worried about her.
Damn. It is not my day today. First I sit with a bowel-sick psychopath in a train compartment, and now with a rabid dog.
It's a Scooby.
I've got to get out of here again quickly. As soon as we reach the next bigger village, they want to hand me over to the authorities. That would be the end of my search, and probably the end of me.
Well, there's a bone there and an angry dog.
There's a cuddly little lapdog in there playing with his little bone. Isn't he cute?
Over here is an ice chest.
I'll take myself a piece.
Of steak.
Served with a baked potato and garlic bread. God, I'm hungry. It's too bad that I'm not a vegetarian. At least then I wouldn't have to seriously consider gulping the steak down raw. So, he should be busy for a while.
That's cruel, but I want your bone, dog.
It shows when and how much the dog is to be fed every day. A piece of bone.
Oh yeah, we needed that piece of bone. And if you thought we were going to put that piece of bone into this flap over here...
If I stick the flat side in the flap and then lever it open. There is a vacuum cleaner bag in there. I'll take it out.
And what's in there?
Do I have to rummage around in that? Yes, I suppose I probably do.
And we
A
got...
hairpin, model number 08/15.
And...
A tuft of hair from, an animal.
Okay.
So, that pipe will never escape from me again.
And we can just fuck this up.
Hopefully no one heard that. Otherwise, my problems are about to increase. I could get onto the roof that way, as long as I don't slash an artery on those broken bits of glass.
Up we go. Bit dangerous, gonna be honest.
There's stuffy air coming out of that pipe. I presume this belongs to an air conditioning unit.
Oh yes.
Let's see if this helps a bit.
I forgot to get the tube.
If the heater in the compartment is on, and I am assuming it is, the hair should actually burn. The stink of that should be noticed, even by unwashed scientists.
Now, we want to grab this. Yeah, this isn't dangerous at all. Put it here and abseil down the side of the moving train. Oh dear.
Phew, that was close.
It was close.
Okay, let's try this again. If anyone has information about any scientists on board, then it is this Sidorkin guy. In his function as the scientific leader, he must have hidden the information somewhere.
Well, first thing we're going to do is fucking pick the lock on this desk. Because we couldn't do that before.
Open.
Yay!
A statue.
Nothing else in there. Right, we've got a statue there, a statue there, a statue there, and a flower vase there. Well, that doesn't fit.
It looks neither attractive nor very valuable. The statue has clicked into position. Oh, I can turn the statue, but I can't pick it up. It seems to be anchored to the plinth.
Well, what way is Lenin looking? Literally, look.
I thought Comrade Lenin went out of fashion years ago.
So just make everything look the same way Lenin looks.
Apparently, the right orientation of the statues triggered a secret mechanism. Soundproofed walls, and then this chair. Are they torturing people in here? A book about the notorious pirate Bale Schmidt, who initially made life very difficult for the patricians and later for the colonists near Port Royal. Pretty.
And if you see, there's a missing book.
Books about Sir Francis Drake, Blackbeard, Henry Morgan, William Kidd, Jack Rackham, all extremely pleasant folk who sailed under the flag of the Skull and Crossbones to liberate the Seven Seas from the plague of merchants. It sounds like a mechanism has been triggered, but I cannot see any changes.
And we want to steal this skull, by the way. Just in case you were wondering if we were going to steal this skull.
I'll take the skull with me, but I won't walk carrying a complete human skeleton. Skeletons must be some type of scientific status symbol. I can't explain it any other way, but every second doctor or professor has one standing in his office, and even gives it a name.
Of course we were putting that skull there.
Wow, that was close. I managed to survive an assassination attempt in my father's apartment and the guys from the Secret Service, only to be almost killed by a picture. Life can be strange, can't it?
It can indeed, Nina. Let's look at it.
What sort of strange lock is that? If I understand this correctly, I should try turning all the lights off.
You played Resident Evil? You've played this. Right. So, it turns off... Yeah, it turns off the ones around it. So we should go... That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. And that one. And then that one. Yay!
Done. Hopefully the contents are worth the effort, and I eventually get to find out where Daddy is. Loads and loads of documents. This damn list of personnel has to be somewhere around... Ah, here. It is definitely divided up into scientists, military, and Secret Service. It lists more than 100 names in the train alone, and well over 1,000 in the research station. What exactly are they all doing? Whatever it is, I've got to find out if Daddy is on board the train. Well then, let's see. After some of the names, there is a cross. Are they all dead? I can only hope that the marks have another meaning. Daddy's not on the list, though. Not on the train, and not at the research station either. Does that calm me down or worry me? At least they haven't dragged him off to Russia.
Russia?
But therefore, my only good lead has cooled right down. I'll have to look at the other documents. Who knows? It might help a little further. Here is a file with the title Tunguska Project. I ought to have a look at that. A whole load of formulae and loads of scientific stuff. I'll be old before I understand
You
that.
didn't even try,
What?
Nina.
What's that? There is something written here about a Kalenkov report.
Well,
it
that's
really
me.
does seem to be from Daddy. He proved in 1976 that the object found in the Tunguska region is of alien origin. On the strength of this report, the government gave the green light to the extension of the research station to carry out experiments on the fragment without any public interference. These experiments led to the discovery that it was possible to influence the behavior of animals when certain radiation fields are modified by the fragment. After that, the Tunguska project was called into life to improve the technology. Then there are pages and pages of test results. They must have done thousands of experiments on animals. Only, what is the goal? What are they promising themselves? Does it have any military use?
What, mind control? No. Ooh, a mysterious black figure. Derailed the entire train. What a man. What a beast.
Oh, hello, Oleg. I hope you have good news. What? And Nina? Is she okay? Damn it, how could that have happened? I thought you were gonna keep an eye on her. No, I don't want to calm down. I made that mistake once already, and the result... Yeah, okay. Where exactly? Okay, I'm on my way.
So, if Sergei's information is correct, then this would have to be the military hospital where they brought Nina.
I hope Nina is all right. How could a complete train derail?
They think it was an attack.
Yes.
But for now, we should not care about that.
Oh, David
You
Kay,
have to get
yes.
Nina out of there.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yes.
Alone, you have a better chance of not being discovered. It was a miracle that we got this far without problems. I mean, I gave the research station an extra wide berth. But this close to it, I almost counted on being caught by the military.
Okay, and so now, how do I get in there?
Start thinking.
Great, but thanks a lot anyway for the lift here. Without you, I would never have found it.
No problem. It was a pleasure. You were pretty worried about Nina, aren't you?
Yes, hopefully nothing has happened to her.
You really like her, don't you?
Yes, nothing that wonderful has ever happened to me before.
Hey, wake up, boy. You can dream after you get Nina out of there.
Yes, you're right.
So, let's move. We don't have a lot of time. I'll wait here in case you need help somehow.
Yes.
Oh, don't forget. Nina has been traveling under the name of Perkova, and probably has been admitted under that name. And now, good luck.
Thanks. I will probably need it too.
Yeah, you're a bit of a damp squid. But, yes!
I don't like him much, but nevertheless, he